Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a farmer wake up one morning, step outside, and find a field full of crops without ever planting a single seed? Of course not. That would be ridiculous. But here's the thing. Many people go through life expecting success, happiness, and prosperity to show up the same way. They want the rewards without the work, the harvest without the planting. And my friends, that's just not how life works. If you want something in life, a strong career, a healthy body, a loving family, financial security, you have to be willing to plant the seeds. You have to make the effort before you can see the results. People look at successful business owners and say, well, they got lucky. No, they didn't. They planted seeds of hard work, learning, and persistence long before they saw a dime. People admire a strong, healthy individual and say they must have great genetics. Maybe, but I guarantee you they also planted the seeds of discipline, healthy eating, and consistent exercise. Nothing worth having happens by accident. Now, here's the part that stops most people. Planting seeds isn't always exciting. It's not glamorous. It takes time, effort, and patience. And let's be honest, sometimes it feels like nothing is happening at all. You show up to work early, you put in the effort, but nobody notices. You invest in your marriage, but the spark doesn't reignite overnight. You exercise for weeks, but the scale barely moves. That's where most people quit. They get frustrated, they stop planting, and then when harvest season comes around, they wonder why their field is empty. But let me remind you of something. Just because you don't see results today doesn't mean the seeds aren't growing. A farmer doesn't dig up his seeds every morning to see if they're sprouting. He trusts the process. He waters them, nurtures them, and knows that in time they will grow. Your effort, your discipline, your persistence, it's all adding up, even when you can't see it yet. And let's not forget one more thing. You don't just plant seeds once and expect a lifetime of abundance. A farmer doesn't plant one crop and then sit back for the rest of his life. No, he keeps planting, keeps working, keeps preparing for the next harvest. Life works the same way. Success is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong habit of planting the right seeds day after day, year after year. So I ask you, what seeds are you planting today? Because whether you plant them or not, time will pass, the seasons will change, and harvest day will come. And when it does, I hope you're standing in the middle of a field full of blessings, looking at the results of your effort and saying it was worth it, because, my friends, if you don't sow, you don't reap. So many people look at successful individuals and think, they got lucky. They assumed the right doors just opened, the right people showed up, and success simply fell into their lap. But let's be honest. Opportunities don't just appear out of thin air. They come to those who are prepared, those who put in the work, and those who are willing to do what others won't. Luck might give you a moment, but effort determines the outcome. If you want to achieve something great, you have to stop waiting for the perfect opportunity and start creating it. You want a better job? Then start sharpening your skills, networking, and proving your value. So I ask you, what seeds are you planting today? Because whether you plant them or not, time will pass, the seasons will change, and harvest day will come. And when it does, I hope you're standing in the middle of a field full of blessings, looking at the results of your effort and saying it was worth it, because, my friends, if you don't sow, you don't reap. So many people look at successful individuals and think they got lucky. They assume the right doors just opened, the right people showed up, and success simply fell into their lap. But let's be honest. Opportunities don't just appear out of thin air. They come to those who are prepared, those who put in the work, and those who are willing to do what others won't. Luck might give you a moment, but effort determines the outcome. If you want to achieve something great, you have to stop waiting for the perfect opportunity and start creating it. You want a better job? Then start sharpening your skills, networking, and proving your value. But the opposite is also true. If you don't prepare, if you don't put in the effort, opportunities will pass you by. You'll see them, but you won't be able to grab them. You'll watch others move forward while you stay stuck wondering why nothing is changing. And the hard truth is, it's not about luck, it never was. It's about what you've done day in and day out to be ready when your time comes. So I ask you, what are you doing today to prepare for tomorrow? Because one thing is certain, opportunities will come, doors will open, and moments will arrive. The question is, will you be ready to walk through them? Because, my friends, if you don't sow, you don't reap. Most people want success, but very few are willing to wait for it. We live in a world that expects instant results, instant success, instant wealth, instant gratification, but real success doesn't work that way. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It takes patience, persistence, and faith in the process, and if you don't have those three things, you'll give up long before you ever see the results. Think about it. Anything worthwhile in life takes time to grow. A tree doesn't shoot up overnight. A great relationship isn't built in a day. And financial freedom doesn't happen with one paycheck. Yet people start something new, and if they don't see immediate success, they quit. They plant the seed, but when they don't see results right away, they stop watering it. Then they look around at someone else's harvest and wonder why their own field is empty. Let me tell you something, success doesn't happen in the moment you achieve it. It happens in all the moments leading up to it when you chose to keep going instead of quitting. It happens in the late nights when no one is watching. It happens in the early mornings when you're putting in the work while everyone else is sleeping. It happens in the small, consistent actions that seem insignificant at the time, but add up to something extraordinary. But here's the challenge. Most people don't like the waiting part. They don't like the struggle. They want the reward, but they don't want the process. They don't realize that the struggle is what makes success meaningful. The obstacles, the setbacks, the failures, those aren't signs to quit. Those are signs that you're on the right path. Every great success story is filled with moments of doubt, moments of hardship, moments where giving up seemed like the easiest option, but the people who make it, they're the ones who kept going when others stopped. And this is where faith comes in, not just faith in something bigger than yourself, but faith in the process. Faith that the work you're putting in today will pay off tomorrow. Faith that the sacrifice you're making now will lead to a greater reward. Faith that if you stay the course, the harvest will come. So let me ask you, are you willing to be patient? Are you willing to stay persistent? Are you willing to have faith even when you don't see results yet? Because if you are, I promise you this, your harvest is coming. Because, my friends, if you don't sow, you don't reap. Life has a way of giving back exactly what you put into it. If you plant good seeds, you'll reap a good harvest. But if you plant weeds, don't be surprised when your field is overrun with problems. The truth is, what you sow, good or bad, is what you'll reap. You see, too many people want success while planting seeds of laziness. They want respect while sowing seeds of dishonesty. They want strong relationships but spend their time gossiping and tearing others down. It doesn't work that way. You can't plant negativity and expect to harvest joy. You can't plant bad habits and expect a successful life. The law of the harvest is simple. Whatever you plant, you will get more of. If you constantly focus on the negative, you'll find more things to complain about. If you surround yourself with toxic people, don't be shocked when drama follows you everywhere. But on the other hand, if you plant seeds of hard work, integrity, and kindness, those things will come back to you often in ways you never expected. Think about the person who wakes up every day with a bad attitude. They drag their feet to work, complain about their job, and give the bare minimum effort. Then when they get passed up for a promotion, they say, well, I guess I just have bad luck. No, my friend, that's not bad luck. That's a bad harvest from the seeds they've been planting for years. Meanwhile, the person who works hard, stays positive, and goes the extra mile keeps planting good seeds. It may not happen overnight, but sooner or later their harvest comes and success follows them. The challenge is that people often don't see the connection between what they're planting and what they're getting in life. They make poor choices, then blame fate when things go wrong. But life doesn't work on luck, it works on principles. And one of the greatest principles is this: if you plant with purpose, you will harvest with joy. So the real question is, what kind of harvest are you working toward? Are you planting seeds of discipline, positivity, and perseverance? Or are you planting seeds of doubt, procrastination, and excuses? Because whether you realize it or not, your future is growing right now from the seeds you're planting today. And when the time comes to reap what you've sown, I hope you look around and smile, knowing that every effort, every sacrifice, and every right choice was worth it. Because, my friends, if you don't sow, you don't reap. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting immediate results. They put in a little effort, take a few small steps, and when they don't see instant success, they quit. But success doesn't work on your schedule, it works on the principle of consistency. Just because you don't see results today doesn't mean your efforts aren't adding up. Think about a seed planted in the ground. You water it, you care for it, but for weeks, maybe even months, you see nothing. If you judged it too soon, you might think nothing is happening. But underground, where you can see, that seed is growing roots. It's building a foundation. Then, one day, when the time is right, it breaks through the soil. That's how success works, but too many people give up before their breakthrough happens. They go to the gym for 2 weeks, don't see dramatic changes, and quit. They start a new business, don't make money immediately, and assume it's not working. They try to improve a relationship, but when things don't change overnight, they stop trying. And then later in life, they look back and wonder why things never worked out. The truth is, they quit too soon. Every great success story is filled with moments of doubt, moments where the results weren't obvious, moments where the results weren't obvious, but the people who succeed are the ones who push through when others stop. They keep showing up even when progress feels slow. They keep putting in the work, knowing that every small effort compounds over time. And here's the thing, you never know how close you are to your breakthrough. Imagine digging for gold, working hard, pushing through the dirt and rock. You get tired, frustrated, and finally decide to stop. But what if you were just inches away from striking gold? You'd never know, because you walked away too soon. That's how most people miss their success. Not because they weren't capable, but because they quit before the reward showed up. So let me ask you, are you willing to keep going even when you don't see immediate results? Are you willing to trust the process even when progress feels slow? Because I promise you, every small action, every bit of effort, every moment of persistence is adding up. One day, when you least expect it, that breakthrough will come, and you'll be grateful you didn't quit when it was hard. Because, my friends, if you don't sow, you don't reap. The life you will live tomorrow is being shaped by the choices you make today. Every decision, every action, every habit is a seed being planted in the soil of your future. Some people look at successful individuals and think they got there by luck or talent. But the truth is, they simply planted the right seeds day after day. Your future harvest depends on what you are doing right now. Too many people put off what they should be doing today, thinking they'll get serious about life someday. Someday they'll start saving money. Someday they'll work on their health. Someday they'll invest in their relationships. But someday isn't a day on the calendar. It never comes. And then years later, they look around and wonder why they aren't where they wanted to be. The answer is simple. They never planted the right seeds. If you want to be financially secure in the future, you have to start making wise choices with your money today. If you want strong, meaningful relationships down the road, you have to invest in them now. If you want to be healthy later in life, you have to start taking care of your body today. You don't wake up one morning with an abundant harvest. You build it one small action at a time. The problem is many people don't see the results immediately, so they assume their efforts don't matter. But just because you don't see the harvest yet doesn't mean the seeds aren't growing. Success is never built in a day, it's built daily. Small, consistent efforts compound over time. A single workout won't make you fit, but a commitment to daily movement will. Reading one book won't make you a genius, but a habit of learning will expand your mind. Putting in extra effort at work once won't change your career, but consistent dedication will open doors. You have to decide what kind of harvest you want and start planting the seeds now. The good news is, no matter where you are today, you can make new choices. You can start planting better seeds, seeds of discipline, effort, kindness, and persistence. And if you do, in time, you'll look back and be grateful for the work you put in. So what seeds are you planting today? Because whether you like it or not, your future is coming, and when the harvest arrives, I hope you can stand in the middle of it, knowing that every small action, every right choice, every step of faith was worth it. Because, my friends, if you don't sow, you don't reap. My friends, life is a field, and every day you are planting seeds, seeds of effort, attitude, discipline, and persistence. You cannot expect a harvest without first putting in the work. You cannot wait for luck to bring success when preparation and consistency are what truly open doors. The choices you make today will shape the results you see tomorrow. So don't give up just because progress seems slow. Don't walk away from your dreams just because the harvest isn't here yet. Keep planting, keep watering, and keep believing because one day when the season is right, you will look around and realize that every sacrifice, every struggle, and every moment of effort was worth it. Your future is in your hands, and the best time to start is now. So go out there, sow your seeds with faith, and when the time comes, you'll reap a harvest beyond anything you imagined. Good luck. And thank you.